Well, hello there. Welcome back to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we are about all things cinema. Well, I hope you had a great Christmas and that you had a wonderful time with your family and friends. We had a nice time at Christmas as well. And as is always the case every year, it seems like once Christmas is over and you turn the calendar to December the 26th, the year very quickly comes to an end. I mean, it just goes lightning fast. And so as of the time that I'm sitting here recording this video in the last week of 2021, we're getting ready to bring in 2022. But before 2022 gets here, I did want to take a few minutes to share my thoughts on a title that I was really excited about when it was first announced earlier this year. This is a 4K Ultra HD release from Kino Lorber of a film from 1978 that is one of my favorite science fiction horror films of all time. And it is the 1978 film Invasion of the Body Snatchers, directed by Philip Kaufman and starring this amazing cast listed up here, led by Donald Sutherland, and also starring Brooke Adams, Leonard Nimoy, Veronica Cartwright, Jeff Goldblum. Just a fantastic cast for this film. Folks, if you are not familiar with, or if you've not seen the 1978 film Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and you're into horror films, science fiction horror, I cannot recommend this title enough. This is an amazing movie. It's considered by many to be one of the greatest remakes of all time. Of course, there was an original film from 1956 called Invasion of the Body Snatchers that starred Kevin McCarthy. And both of these films are based off of the Jack Finney short story or novel Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Now, this movie from 1978 is technically not a remake of the 1956 film. It's really more of a re-envisioning, a reimagining, if you would, of the Jack Finney source material. But it's commonly referred to as being a remake by a lot of people. And it's one of the best ones. I mean, the film from 1956 with Kevin McCarthy was awesome. It was based in a small town. This is a modern retelling of the story. It takes the story to the big city, to San Francisco, and it is just an amazing reimagining of that story. And what that story is, if you're not familiar, and the title is very apt, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So basically, it's an invasion from alien pods or alien spores from outer space. So you have these alien spores from outer space reach Earth. They become these like plant-like pods that take over human beings as they sleep. So as people sleep, these alien spores basically replicate human beings' bodies in these pods. And once the replication is complete during people's sleep, they take over. The original people crumble away and they're taken over by these alien duplicates. And so this alien invasion is taking place, and as it's taking place, it creates paranoia. People don't know who's real, who's been taken over. Of course, the people start acting differently because they've been taken over, and it just creates a lot of paranoia and terror. And that's part of the horror that drives the story in this film as people are being taken over, as people are trying to escape what is going on. And that's what these people here are running from. These main characters are running from the terror of these aliens who are slowly taking over the population of San Francisco. So this is an amazing film. Of course, in this film, you've got Donald Sutherland. He plays Matthew Bennell. He's a San Francisco Health Department inspector. You've got Brooke Adams in here. She plays a lab technician with the San Francisco Health Department. She and Donald Sutherland's character are sort of having an affair, if you would. She's married to Art Hindle's character, who is Jeffrey in this film, who is one of the first people taken over in the film. You also have Jeff Goldblum and Veronica Cartwright. They're a married couple in this film. They play Jack and Nancy Belichick. They're owners of this mud bath spa. And of course, Leonard Nimoy, who at that time had recently been playing Spock in the Star Trek television series the decade before, the 1960s. He plays just an incredible role as a doctor in this film. He plays Dr. David Kibner in this film. And it's one of the best roles in this film. And I think, in my mind, it's one of the best roles of Leonard Nimoy's career in this film. So if you're a Leonard Nimoy fan and you have not seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1978, please get this film. You will really enjoy it. just for the performance of Leonard Nimoy alone. So this cast did an amazing job from an acting standpoint. The story is absolutely amazing. And so I cannot recommend this film enough just based on the movie itself. And so when this was first announced, I think earlier this year, I was really excited to get a 4K Ultra HD version of this film. Of course, I already own this 2016 Blu-ray from Scream Factory. So I was really looking forward to seeing how much of an upgrade we would get on this 4K Ultra HD edition. And to make a long story short, to talk about the video and audio quality, from a video and audio quality standpoint, this is a top-notch disc. I mean, this 4K Ultra HD image looks fantastic. I mean, it's got Dolby Vision HDR, so the colors look great. The detail, the clarity, the depth, the black levels, the contrast, the organic feel of the image, the stability of the image, really everything about this image in 4K Ultra HD with Dolby Vision is an improvement over this 2016 Blu-ray. Now, the question is, how much of an improvement is it? Is it a substantial upgrade? Is it a incredibly noticeable upgrade? To my eyes, I will tell you, while it is an upgrade and it is better than the Blu-ray, it's not worlds apart from this Blu-ray. This Blu-ray is already a very good Blu-ray image. And as it's upscaled on my 4K, on my Sony 4K TV, on my 4K Sony Blu-ray player, I didn't see an incredible difference between this new 4K, which is based off of a new 4K restoration. I didn't see an incredible, head and shoulders difference between this and this edition. This does look better, just to be clear. This 4K Ultra HD is better than this Blu-ray, but it's not head and shoulders above it. I don't think it just blows it completely out of the water, but it is better in basically every area across the board. When you look at the detail, the clarity, the depth of the image, the colors, everything just looks a little bit better on this 4K Ultra HD disc. So the picture quality is top notch. It's the best that this film has ever looked on home video. So, definitely know it is an upgrade, but in my mind, it's not a mind-blowing upgrade. The audio is also very good and it accompanies the video very well. It's a 5.1 DTS HD master audio soundtrack and it sounds absolutely fantastic. There's some nice sound effects in here with the pods and the whole transformation process that comes across really well. The dialogue is really clean. You can hear everything in the soundscape between the dialogue, between the characters and the conversations and everything going on in the soundscape. So that 5.1 soundtrack sounds really good. And overall, the presentation on this 4K Ultra HD disc with Dolby Vision and that 5.1 soundtrack is top notch. This is solid. This is a really solid 4K Ultra HD disc. Now, if you're gonna ask, is it worth the upgrade over this 2016 Blu-ray? That's gonna come down to really a subjective opinion. What I would say is if you are a huge fan of this film and you want to see this film in the best shape it's ever looked on home video, definitely check this out. If you are a more casual fan of this film and you already have this edition from Scream Factory, then I think you're probably good to just hang on to this edition and not worry about upgrading it. You get the same special features in this edition from Kino Lorber. They didn't add any new supplementary material. So if you already have this and you're just more of a casual fan of the film, then I would not necessarily recommend upgrading to this. But if you're a huge fan of the film like I am and you want this film in the best home video presentation that it's ever been in, then I would definitely recommend it. There's a pretty good price right now, I think, on Amazon as of the time I'm sitting down and recording this, so definitely worth checking out. Now, as far as the supplements and special features, as I just mentioned, the special features that are on here, you can see here, hopefully this is focusing. The special features it's a nice group of supplements, I must say. And I really enjoyed going through these supplements again. And the important thing to note is that the supplements that you get on this edition are the same supplements that are carried over from this previous edition. So I don't think that you're getting anything new on this 4K Ultra HD edition from Kino Lorber. They're just bringing over all of the previous supplements from the Scream and Shout Factory and the other supplements that have been pulled together from other studios. Those are all ported over to this edition here. But the supplements that are on here are excellent. You get 2 audio commentaries. You get an audio commentary from Philip Kaufman, and you also get an audio commentary from Steve Haberman on both of the discs. So both discs, you get a Blu-ray and a 4K disc in here. And both discs have the commentaries so you can listen to it during the presentation. But the Blu-ray has all the other special features. And you get a few interviews on here. You get an interview with Brooke Adams that's really good, as well as an interview with Art Hindle. And he said some really interesting things about, working with some of the co-workers or some of the fellow actors on this film that I thought was interesting and very enlightening. So Art Hindle played Brooke Adams' character's husband, Jeffrey, in this film, one of the first characters to get converted. So that's a really interesting interview. And you get one on here called Riding the Pod, an interview with Jack Finney expert Jack Seabrook, which is very interesting. Jack Finney was very private, and so he didn't, from what I understand, he didn't do a lot of interviews and really wasn't wanting to be out in the public eye. And so this Jack Finney expert talks a little bit about Jack Finney's background and his influence in science fiction films and storytelling in cinema. So I thought that was really interesting. And you get several other really interesting features on the making of this film that are on this disc. So I really enjoyed going through the supplements. And so I think the supplementary package is excellent for this edition. It's nothing new. So as I said before, if you already have this edition and you're happy with it and you're happy with the picture quality, I would just stick with this. But if you want to do the 4K upgrade and see that uptick in quality, go ahead and pick this up. But the special features are all ported over, and they're excellent all the way around. You get a lot of behind the scenes, features, and you also get some television spots, some radio spots, and you get the theatrical trailer. So really nice features on here. You get some commentary from several of the actors in this film, including Brooke Adams, Donald Sutherland, Veronica Cartwright, and Art Hindle, and some others as well. I don't think there's any, I'm trying to remember if Leonard Nimoy appeared in any of these supplements. I don't think he did, but it would have been nice if he did. But you get a lot of good input from several of the actors in here. Also, you get some input and commentary from Philip Kaufman in the special features. So overall, really nice supplementary package for this 1978 film. This is one of my favorite science fiction horror films of all time, and I simply cannot recommend it enough. If you haven't seen this film, definitely check it out. But I wanted to share with you my thoughts on this classic film from 1978, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, from director Philip Kaufman. It's definitely worth a watch. So before this year ended, I wanted to share my thoughts on this title. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1978? What do you think about that film? And what do you think about the original film? I don't think I mentioned earlier that the star of the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1956, Kevin McCarthy, he made a cameo appearance in this 1978 film that you'll definitely want to see. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier, but he made a cameo appearance in the 1978 film that is a really interesting point in the movie that you'll definitely want to see. But let me know in the comments below, have you seen both of those films? Have you seen the film from 1956 and 1978? If so, what do you think about the films? Do you have a favorite Invasion of the Body Snatchers feature film? Of course, there's been several feature films that are based on that Jack Finney story. Of course, the 1956 film, this 1978 film, and then there's a few, probably 3 or 4 other films that are based on that Invasion of the Body Snatchers story. What Invasion of the Body Snatchers film is your favorite? Let me know that in the comments below. And also let me know what films you are watching as we get ready to wrap up 2021. Let me know that in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. Peace.